Could you share an example of a planning assumption you made that didn't perform as expected? And then what did you do to course correct?
It wasn't me that did it, so I'm happy to share it. Um, when I walked in, the
uh,
primary metric we were using for compensation was the ending revenue increase, the incremental ARR figure. But the problem is that we're selling in a highly competitive space where there's a lot of transfer between vendors, and oftentimes the initial portion of the contract has to ramp up. So you might start with 10 users to configure for a few months and then grow to 50 to 100 to 1,000 users, whatever it is. And by basing the compensation on the ending value of the plan, or sort of what the sort of theoretical renewal value was, we found that we were massively overpaying compared to the amount of cash we were collecting, but also that the system was far too easy to manipulate in terms of the velocity of that ramping
hmm
structure.
hmm
And so
Yep.
to police that took one rule after another rule after another rule after another control, and it ended up being we would spend more time talking about the stupid ramp structure than we would the actual value of the deal, whether it was a good sale. And so we completely overhauled that going into this year, and sort of took the metric that everybody was used to and said that doesn't count anymore. That's not how you're paid now. We're going to pay you based on this other structure. And so it was about as extreme of a change as you could possibly make. It went pretty well. We were trying to basically drive the right behavior and the right types
hmm
of deals, right? But it was sort of a scary thing. It was very risky to go, hey, here's metric number one in your comp plan, just doesn't exist anymore. We're going to replace it with these other things. Um, but it was the right move. We had clear evidence that the system wasn't working, that it was incentivizing the wrong behavior. And so
hmm
we had to find different incentives that did match the revenue goals for the company and did provide the right incentives. But doing that was very challenging for a company much larger than us. Like I couldn't imagine a company the size of like a Stripe, for example, being able to do that. But the advantage that a company that size has is normally you've got enough history to know that the sort of the widgets themselves are well placed and well positioned. So for younger companies that are in a different place in terms of size and scale, don't be afraid to just do the hard things and just, if the plan's not working, rip the damn thing up and write a new one that works. Obviously, be careful, be thoughtful about it. Do the planning. Make sure that you've got really hard data to back it up. It shouldn't necessarily change what people are able to earn. It should change how they earn it, and it should still be something that's achievable. So you might be switching percentages out or changing how different segments of a deal add up, which is kind of what we did. So the outcome was kind of the same. We weren't messing with people's expected pay. We were just saying, hey, this metric is really screwy. It's operationally clumsy, and it doesn't value the cash the way that we need to. So we're just going to change it. And so we did.